Hey, so I gotta make a cargo ship or a Corvette engine. I'm gonna name it 10K.maneuver. Maneuver. Thrust needs to be 10K because that's the size of my ship. We don't care at all about power, so we'll set that to the minimum. Typically I make two ships, one that's maximum speed, and for a beginner maximum speed is 30. I've got some specials that make it higher, but we'll make a 30 right now. And a second ship that's more maneuverable but slower. The purpose of that is the fast ship can go between space stations really quickly, go long distances quickly, but it docks and undocks ridiculously slowly, but that doesn't matter over long distances. And then the more maneuverable ship, it can go between the planet and the space station more quickly, and it docks and undocks more quickly. So even though it's slow, it gets where it's going quicker because it doesn't have to spend 3 hours docking. Right, so as you can see, you can click auto balance and it tells you a good design for this. But when you auto balance, it doesn't. I mean, it's obviously not ideal. So what's important about this design is the percentages. Hull and all the minerals combined need to add up to 15%, and hull itself needs to be 10% or higher. Right now, this hull required is at 50% of the cost of the entire ship, so we can really reduce it a lot. One trick is you can set it to 1 and then double click the percentage to raise it up until it's at 10%. And there you go. You'll notice the next to our message is crew size is horrible. I always set colonists and enlisted to 1 because, as you saw, even at 22, the percentage contribution of these colonists is almost nothing, so there's never any point in having colonists or enlisted. Our 10K size ship is going to need 100 crew, and so the more crew we cram in here the better, because there's nowhere else to use it. So max of looks like 54 is a good thing to aim for. I mean, right now all of this adds up to too much, but that's just because I didn't unlock anything. Research cost is, I typically minimize research cost. And research time I also make very small. You can make it just a tiny bit higher than production time. Production cost is another thing I like to minimize, just because it's more fun that way. And there you go. So 10%, 22%, 54%. So that's a good engine design. We could make it more maneuverable, but you'll watch, as soon as you double the maneuverability, you also double the cost. So it went from 10% to 5%, and before you doubled it again. So really the cost is speed times maneuverability times thrust and power generation. And like I said, this is a long-range, non-maneuverable ship. It's going to stink for docking and undocking, but we'll make a better one for that in a sec. So you design that, and then you want to make a copy of it, and we're going to want to make a copy that doesn't dock ridiculously slowly. So we'll call this one Menu. And if we want to stick it in the same 321 hull, what we're going to want to do is make this 4x and then make this 1/4, right? So 7.5 would really be 1/4. So there you go. Same hull size, same stats, same everything. It's just more maneuverable. And it'll dock and undock quicker. Now, in the rest of the video, I used more expensive engines to make my actual cargo ships because I didn't want to sit around waiting for a 7-speed 4-maneuverability ship to move. But in general, just, you know, if you wanted to make the actual ship that I made, it was 38, and so you'll see you need a much bigger hull, like 760 or, yeah, 750, to get it above 10%, and all these have to be higher, like 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, 200. And then research cost, we'll add a couple ones, and we'll get this up to 5%, and get this to that, and there you go. Probably add some more crew. And if we reduced some minerals. Then the idea is to get this to 10%, but, you know, we'll just reduce this because we're lazy. Anyway, so there's the actual engine that I really used, but as you can see, it's a lot more expensive and takes twice as much hull. So you can use the cheap one that's slow or the more expensive one that's quick. Either way, I don't care. See ya.